Hello my lovely ladies, welcome back to a new video. We are talking about the toxic friends that are surrounding us today. The types of people that you need to cut out of your life, never meet up with again, because my darling, there's some crazy toxic people out there, and unfortunately there are more like the chances are higher, unfortunately, for you to become friends with a toxic person than a real, true, honest friend. But don't worry, I've got you all covered, because if you start recognizing them, the most difficult ones I'm going to start out with, and the crazy ones I'm leaving for, I think, maybe a little steps later. But the first friends, even though you think it doesn't sound toxic, they are really toxic. And when it adds up, you will understand the toxicity. So for some friendships, even though it feels off because it's so infrequent and it happens just, maybe monthly there and then another time, and sometimes they are nice in between, you don't realize it. But let me tell you, there's some crazy people out there, and cutting them out of your life, even if you don't have any friends left, don't worry, my darling. It's better to be alone or have a few friends than being surrounded by these crazy, crazy people. Believe me, they can be very dangerous as well. I'm talking about that too in this video. I'm drinking a fresh juice. I already drank half of it. It's carrot, apple, another fruit that resembles peach but isn't a peach, and then strawberries, and also some ice cubes because it's very warm out today. So let's get started, but first I'm going to have a sip. The first one, not an obvious one, is the friend that you cannot be your true self around. You feel like you need to walk on eggshells around them. This one is a very toxic friendship, but this is one of the friendship that is very hard to spot as a toxic friendships, because there's no fighting, there's no gossiping, there's no crazy things going on. It's very subtle, but at the same time, this one is very toxic because not being able to be yourself around them for different types of reasons, which can vary a lot, that's very toxic, my darling, and you need to cut these people out of your life. Sometimes it's a group of friends, sometimes it's just one person, and there are different types of reasons. For example, you maybe are from a religion that they maybe do not like and you hide it, or your ethnicity, or you have different types of beliefs, or you are very good friends a long time ago, but life happened and you took different paths, and all of a sudden your interests are a little different, but with this friend you still pretend to be that old person. Or you have some great things happening in your life, it's very successful, amazing things are happening, but you're downplaying your successes in order for them to not feel bad, and you're hiding certain things of your life. If you are hiding certain things that are happening in your life because you think they will judge you for it or they will not like you for it, then maybe it's time for you to go and find some other friends, my darling, because you not being able to be your true self because you're scared they will judge you, maybe you're very outgoing and you're trying to hide it, or you have certain hobbies and they kind of don't, so you pretend that you don't do it as much, or you're someone who loves going to the gym and they're not, and you're pretending that you also eat junk food. I don't know, so many things. And this, I also saw this happening especially with groups of friends where, for example, they all love something and then this person also pretends to love it. It's just crazy, so many things. But I see this a lot with people downplaying their successes. So this person has maybe a rough time in their life, going through a rough path, and you are maybe hiding the things that are very successful and everything that's going great in your life because you feel like this person might not appreciate it, which is a very bad thing. So I feel like when you're doing that, it's time to find someone else. Again, very subtle, very hard to understand that it's toxic, but after seeing this happening for a long time, you will realize that this person is not your friend. Number two is the friend that is unable to keep their promises and commitments to you. So what do I mean by that? The friend that, for example, you're meeting up at 6 p.m. at a restaurant You're there, it's 6 p.m. and guess what? They're not there. They're not responding to your messages. When you call them 20 minutes later, when they finally reply, they're like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I will come. Don't worry, I'm coming. And then 1 hour later, they're sitting there in front of you. Is it a true friendship? This can happen, of course, that a genuine friend suddenly forgets something. But when this happens over and over again, do you really think that this is a real friendship? That this person has really good intentions? Because this person is clearly not able to keep their promises and commitments to you. Another story out of my personal life. I had this wedding. I needed a dress. There was this certain type of dress code. I didn't have the type of dress. A good friend of mine, a good friend at that time, she did. And she promised me to give me that dress. We had the same type of body. And 1 week before the wedding, I contacted her. I told her, hey, you promised me, can I borrow your dress? And she was like, yeah, but this week I'm very busy. And every day, like coming up to that weekend, she always find an excuse to not give me that dress. But I really believed in our friendship. Like, if you don't want it, I totally respect it. But if you say yes, then I really believe that you're going to lend it to me. So the day of the wedding happened, because she kept telling me like, I'm so busy right now, but the day of the wedding, I have a lot of time and I will bring it to you. The day of the wedding came and guess what? She wasn't there, not responding to my messages, not responding to my calls. I was also fine driving to her house, but she was just not responding. And I cut her off immediately, because if you don't want to give me the dress, totally fine, but don't put me in this situation. Tell me like, I'm sorry, this dress, you know, I don't want anyone to wear it, or it's very valuable to me. I'm scared something will spill on it. I totally understand, and I will still see you as an amazing friend. But letting your friends down like that, and when things add up, you will notice it, that if you feel like, okay, when I meet up with this friend and this friend is not going to be there, there's this chance, there's this gut feeling that I cannot fully trust this friend, or maybe we're going out in the evening and will this person be there for me if something happens? Or if I don't have like a car ride home, will this person be there for me and not just leave me there and go themselves? Is this friend of you really keeping their promises to you, whatever promise they made, their commitment to you when you're meeting, where you're leaving? Is this person really someone that is standing by your side, that you can trust that they will be there for you at the committed time that you both agreed on? Is this person really there for you, doing what you agreed on? Number 3 is the friend that is not being honest with you. And those are very bad friends. The friends that don't give you constructive criticism. I'm not talking about the negative friend, which is another option, who's bringing you down and constantly having, you know, bad things to say about you. But I also feel like a friend needs to be there for you when you make mistakes. It needs to kind of tell you, put you in place and be like, my darling, sit you down and be like, you're crazy. For example, you're doing drugs, and this friend, if it's a good friend, should sit you down and be like, darling, this is not good for you, it's not good for your health, don't do this, yada yada yada. Or you have a horrible dress on, looks horrible on you and your body, and you're looking very funny, and this friend should be able to tell you, if it's a true friend, to say like, hey, I know you put a lot of effort in your outfit, but maybe this dress isn't really for you. To be really honest, and I'm not talking about the jealous friend who's just putting you down. What I once saw is, I was having lunch and there was this girl and she had sunscreen on, I think, under her makeup or over her makeup, but it looked very bad. There were these kind of lamps at the restaurant and they shined on her face, and the areas that she put on that sunscreen would be so white, and she was tanned like I'm tan. She was tanned like me, but her face, and not even her entire face, you could really see like the streaks of where the sunscreen was being put. So around her eye it was brown, and around her lips, like this area was brown, but like her forehead, her nose, it was like glowing white. I don't know what was happening with the lights. And if my friend was sitting like that in front of me across the table, I would be like, darling, do you have like sunscreen on or something, because it's like reflecting. Do you look at yourself? And then I would show her, for example, on my phone or on a mirror, and she would probably say like, oh my God, what is this? Yes, I put sunscreen on, but I didn't know it was going to look like this. But her friends, they were just talking and laughing and talking to her like nothing was going on. Other people were really making fun of her, like even at our table, my family members were like, look at that girl with the white face. What did she do? No, 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 no. And the girls at her table noticed that our table and other tables were kind of looking at her like, what's going on? And I didn't know her, so I thought it would be weird for me to go up to her and be like, darling, your face all white. But I was actually thinking about it. And now I'm actually regretting for not just going up to her and be like, your face is white and you probably have sunscreen on. You should probably do something about it. I don't mean anything bad, it's just maybe you didn't know. And I would not say it while other people were listening. I would say it in her ear, or I would ask her like, hi, can I say something? And then, you know, I would not embarrass her in front of other people. That's not me. The next one is one of the most dangerous ones, okay? And it is the copycat friend. You need to be very, very cautious when you are around this type of friend. This friend does everything in their power to either look like you or to have the life that you are living right now. And most of the time, it's actually both. So you need to be very cautious when you are around them, because they can be, and they will be most of the time, very, very dangerous. These friends, you cannot just cut off like that. Slowly get out of their lives and get them out of your life. And when they're finally out of your life, run and never look back, because they can have a very dangerous impact, okay? They're very dangerous. They're obsessed with you. They're obsessed with your life. They're obsessed with how you look. I mean, darling, what else do you need? They're like a stalker in a friend form. What other warning signs do you need? I don't get it. These friends are very dangerous. Obviously, friends, you know, copy sometimes things from each other. Your friend buys something, you love it, you also want to buy it. Your friend dyes her hair pink and you're like, oh, that's great. I never thought about it. Maybe I should try it. And your friend's son goes horseback riding and you also want to send your child to horseback riding. It's fine. Obviously, we learn and we copy sometimes from our friends, but these ones are not like that. They're copying you and copying you and copying you until you are also noticing like, hey, something is wrong here. They're not just liking some stuff. Everything I do, they're copying. I, unfortunately, have had a lot of friends like that. It's very frustrating, but if you have friends like that, also notice that something in your life is going really great because they're so jealous of you. And when people are jealous of you, that means that you are doing something great. You're maybe very pretty, your life is doing great. So I would just want to make you feel a little bit more positive, because this one is very negative. And maybe you are like recognizing one of your friends and you feel very heavy. So let me talk a little bit of positivity into you. It means that there's something amazing about you because they're jealous of it, obviously. I've had a lot of friends like that. Copying, for example, they would have black hair all the time and they were always talking about, for example, not wanting to dye their hair. And then suddenly I dyed my hair and then 2 weeks later they dyed their hair the exact same color. Like I said, it's not just one thing. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. You do your hair like this, they do their hair like this. You dress a certain way, they start dressing a certain way. You want to do yoga classes, they attend yoga classes. You and your husband go to a certain restaurant, she also takes her husband and wants to go suddenly to the restaurants you go to and do everything that you do. And there were a couple of friends like that where I really felt like this is very scary, because not only on looks and dresses, and because I do get copied a lot by a lot of friends and family because, you know, they like the way I dress, they like the way I look, my hair, my makeup. I'm used to that, but when other things in your life are also being copied, it starts to get really scary. I had this friend who would copy everything that I would wear, my hair, my makeup, and I already thought that was weird because it was crazy how much she copied. And then, for example, I would also share me painting a canvas that I really liked. This friend was not into painting. I loved painting, and suddenly she also bought the exact same canvas in the exact same colors, and she kind of tried to copy my design and also hang it in her kitchen because I hang it in my kitchen. And so many things that I would, for example, go with my husband to a certain restaurant, and then the next week she would also go with her husband to that restaurant. She had a girl, I had a girl, her girl was 1 year younger than me, than my child. So when I was pregnant of my child, she always talked about that she wanted to have a career, that she never really wanted to have children, and she still wanted to wait 5 to 10 years. But after I was pregnant, all of a sudden, 6 months later, she was also pregnant. Then I moved to another country. So she also tried to convince her husband to move to another country, but because the husband couldn't move to the country that we're living in right now because of language barriers and work and everything, she did convince him to go to another country that was similar to the country that I'm living in. So it was very scary. And I've had a lot of friends like that they're just copying the most random things. And sometimes you don't even notice that they're copying you or that they copied you so much until, for example, you go to their house and you notice the books, you notice the bedding that you once shared, you notice so many things that they are copying and you had no idea. And it starts to become very scary. And also because a lot of the time they don't mention it. That's also a very big sign. For example, if I want to copy my friend, I will be like, oh my God, I bought the same dress. I love it. I'm going to buy it as well. Or what eyeshadow do you use? It looks so good on you. I'm also going to buy it. But what I noticed from all the copycat friends I've had, and I've had quite a lot, was most of the time they wouldn't tell me like, oh my God, your dress, I want to buy it too. They would not even ask me where the dress is from. They would dig into my Instagram. They would go on the internet and type in, for example, nude colored dress off shoulder with flower print. That is how they did it. One time, that was so scary. This friend, it was 10 years ago, I was still at school and she was copying a lot because I always like to dress nice, even when I went to university, to college, and she needed to go to the bathroom and she was like on her phone before that, and her phone was like this next to me on the table, but she forgot to close it. So I could actually see what was on her phone, and she actually Googled the top that I was wearing. So that was very scary. So instead of, she's sitting like next to me, instead of asking me like, oh my God, I love the top that you're wearing, it was like a simple black top. It was cropped, but the only thing that was eye-catching off the top, it had like jeweled stars. It was from Turkish designer brand. But we were in Belgium, so it was very impossible for her to find. She Googled my top, wrote something like black crop top, long sleeve with silver jewel stars or something. And there were a lot of tops, but luckily mine didn't show. But maybe later on she found out which website it was. So that is very scary because they sit next to you. They could just ask you, look, I love your top, where's it from? No. At the same moment, she's not even doing it at home and wondering how much my top costs. No, she's like sitting next to me and Googling my top. Another friend, she even got a nose job and another surgery to look like me, which is very weird because I don't have like this. The copycat friend is obsessed with you, and people that are obsessed with you are usually also very jealous of you. They're just copying you, they're looking up to you, but at the same time, you have copycat friends who copy everything you do. They're obsessed with you, but they don't impact your life with any negativity. but there are also copycat friends who have also very malicious thoughts and will do everything in their power for you to not be that pretty anymore, to not live the life that they want to live anymore. And they will, I've had one friend who did this. She contacted all my friends and sent them messages about me, my personal life, and photoshopped a few things. I'm not going too much into detail because I'm still traumatized, but she contacted my parents. I didn't even know how she found out about them. Worked over hours to dig into my personal life, but still that she could go so far into trying to destroy my friendships, the company that I worked for. She sent them an email too, obviously not with her real name, but I soon found out that it was her. So she really wanted the job to fire me, for my friends to leave me, for my family to embarrass me. Luckily, they were not real. Another dangerous one, these ones are the most dangerous one, but I feel like the obsessed one is definitely topping the other one. The other one is the rumor spreading friend. And this is not the gossiping friend. Don't even think that they are the same. A rumor spreading friend is lying. They know it's not true. They love spreading rumors. They enjoy it and they feel better by destroying other people's reputation, by destroying people's lives. And especially if you're not from Western culture, this can have a big impact if your family finds out, even if it's not true, because rumors are not true. They will know that sometimes it can even lead to death, to the hospital, but these people do not care. They are just destroying everything and everyone along the way. And please know that if someone spreads rumors, they are also going to spread rumors about you. Same with the gossiping friend, but the gossiping friend is like nothing compared to the rumor spreading friend. But again, the gossiping friend is also not a friend you want to keep around, even though it's not as dangerous as the rumor spreading friend, because the rumor spreading friend can just make up different stories where nothing of it is true, but they are so good at making up rumors. They are making up a rumor that almost sounds true, and there are things that they add in it about you that not other people know. For example, you always go to ballet at a certain hour, and they will add that into their story for other people to really believe it. And when other people are starting to talk, and this one is saying, and this one is saying, and you know the saying that when there's smoke, there's fire, believe me, that's not the case. When someone is spreading rumors about you, is so jealous of you, is so much full of hate, and is just enjoying gossiping and spreading rumors about people, they can make up. I have met people that can make up the craziest stories when there's nothing there. There's no fire, there's no smoke, there's nothing. They just want to destroy your life. So obviously you need to just cut them off immediately, because these people can have a big impact on your life, and they will have a big impact on your life. So before it's too late, remove them from your life. Gossiping friends, if they are gossiping about other people with you, then they are also going to gossip with other people about you. Everyone knows it, so just don't do it. Everyone gossips, but there's a way to do it. Like we females, men too, even worse, believe me. To entertain, you're gossiping about people that are not your real close friends. But if you meet a friend who's gossiping about her family, her husband, her close friends, then this person is not to be trusted, because if this person is gossiping about their husband, about their close friends, about this and this, then this person is also going to gossip about you. It's different if you're gossiping about the neighbors, or, you know, a friend of a friend, or a very friend that you meet very casually. Even if the people that are closest to this person cannot trust this person, how are you going to trust this person? So be very cautious around them, and I would suggest not keeping them around at all, because gossip can be dangerous as well, because gossip is the truth. And maybe they saw you somewhere, maybe you told them something, a little outburst, and you kind of regret it, These people will not make you feel good, and you will always feel like you need to keep your mouth shut around them because the consequences can be huge. So just not being around them is the best you can do. Why are you around gossiping people? Why are you around people that are stalking you? Why are you around negative, crazy people? Why? Why? Ladies, we don't have to be around those people. Gossiping people, spreading rumors, copying every single move you do, being in a competition that you're not even aware of. Why are you going to be friends with such a crazy, destructive person? Why? Do you enjoy having crazy people in your life? Probably. The next one is the friend that doesn't respect your values and your boundaries. So a friend, for example, if you don't drink or you drink alcohol once in a while, but this friend really wants to push you and wants you to drink and wants you to go out, and maybe you're a person who doesn't want to go out, you're more into working out and waking up early and drinking healthy juices, but this person doesn't respect your boundaries, forcing you to go out, forces you to have another drink and have another drink and drink and drink, and knows that you don't like it, but forces you, doesn't have any boundaries. Or for example, you're sitting with a group of people at a table and this friend is just calling you out or like pushing your hair, making fun. Or for example, you have hair extensions and it's like, oh my god, your hair extensions, or just does very strange behavior next to people, doesn't respect you, doesn't respect your boundaries, like that you need to keep a little distance and you need to behave, especially when other people are around. This person has bad intentions, can have a big impact on your life by making you do stupid things, crazy things, and messing up your entire life and making you look like a fool in front of other people. This person is not needed in your life, my darling. The next friend is the friend that takes advantage of you. This friend loves you as much as they can use you. Don't forget that. You either have a lot of Instagram followers and they want to be exposed to that so they can also start their Instagram, be an influencer. They know that you earn good money and they always somehow make you pay for dinner and don't always take out their wallet, and usually you are the one to pay. They are always taking advantage of you one way or another. Maybe you have a car and they do not, and they're always making you dropping them off somewhere, picking them up when you go somewhere. It's always you who's making the effort. The effort is always one-sided and it's always you who is giving, doing something. And when it comes to them, if you are thinking about something that they did for you, either it's something very small that is like almost significant to nothing, or it's nothing. And as soon as they're done using you and they don't have anything else to use you for, they will not be your friend. So instead of waiting for them until they're finally done with you, just put them by the trash where they belong and never look back. The next one is the selfish friends. They always come to you when they need support, when they need a shoulder to cry on, but when it's the other way around and you need them, all of a sudden, they are not there for you. They are not there for you during tough times. But when it's their tough times, your phone won't stop ringing. They contact you to talk and talk and talk, or they want to meet and they want a solution and they this and this and this. But when you are in trouble and when you need a shoulder to cry on, they are not there for you because, my darling, you were only something that they were using. You're like a personal free psychologist that you don't need to pay. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about how you are doing. They don't care how your day is going. All they are caring about is themselves. Why would you want to be friends with that? At the end of the day, after you leave them, you feel drained, you feel low energy because all you have done is listen to their negativity, listen to their crazy stories, and it's not good for your life. These types of people have no value, no good impact on your life other than bringing you down and bringing you negativity. And that is also the last one that I'm talking about today, the negative friend. the friend who's always bringing you down somehow, always has a negative thing to say, and sometimes they say it very directly, but the mean ones say it in a very indirect, snaky way, and it's just not a nice vibe to be around them. And after meeting up with them, you feel horrible, whether it's psychologically, whether it is physically, you are just done and you feel bad. Why would you want to be friends with someone that makes you feel horrible after meeting up with them? I mean, I meet up with people that add something to my life, and I know that after meeting up with them, I'm like, oh, that was fun. Oh, that was great. Why would I go and waste my time meeting someone to make me feel horrible? Why would I do that? Why are you wasting your time doing that? That's not worth it. So this year, we are going to remove all the crazy toxic people out of our life. You're going to start fresh. It is never too late. Right now, after watching this video, go do it. You will feel so much better. And you know what the greatest thing is? As soon as you get rid of all the toxic people, you notice that you are starting to grow. You're starting to make more money because you have now, instead of wasting your time on these toxic people, you have now time to think about things to make more money. And guess what? When you are doing different things in your life, you meet other people on the way, and you don't even do it intentionally. The people that I meet that are in my life right now, I never was like, oh my God, I need new friends, I need this. They just came into my life naturally, and suddenly I built up my entire group of friends again, and I replaced everyone with a good solid group. Obviously, I have friends that have been friends a very long time. I also cut out a lot of people from my life. Some were very close to me, and I'm not speaking to them ever again. That is the best way to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye!